Good morning. Good morning. It's Kirsten Liebelt. How are you doing? Jump on in. I know. We're a few minutes late. I know we are. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Jump on in, grab your coffee, your tea, whatever it is that you're drinking today. Tell me what you're drinking today. I'd like to know. I've got my aminos in my water bottle. I got myself a larger water bottle. I cracked myself up. I was laughing with my daughter last night. It's like, she's like, wow, that's really big. I said, but I think I'm actually going to appreciate it. And sure enough, I do. I don't know. I'm just, you know what? Hello. Welcome to my show. Welcome to my brain. Welcome to my brain. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. I live in Minnesota, and we come on here every day and we talk about insulin resistance. I was raised by a type 2 insulin dependent dad who died at the age of 63, which of course now is extraordinarily young because I'm almost 61. Wow, was he young? I mean, honestly. So that's kind of like my background. And I kind of come to this conversation super like authentically because it was my whole life, you guys. And I can't even tell you, even since they like came out with the new food guidelines, it really excites me. And today we're going to talk about food because you guys, we were chatting when we were on yesterday. Like, you guys had so many questions, and I thought, okay, then let's just do this. Let's just go to where, like, we talk about, you know, food and how do I view food, and because like I was a major sugar addict. I was a major. Hold on, I have to like clear my throat, and I know that I have a microphone on there, so I apologize. But, you know, things were definitely like very, how do I say, like deeply connected in my brain and in my heart, like my whole life. And so I understand that struggle of learning a new language and really wondering, can I even do this? And having all of the doubts in your brain that tell you that, like, yeah, no. But I'm the hope dealer. I am the hope dealer. I was 50. Closer to 51, not going to lie, when I finally decided I had to trade out my foods. Closer to 51 because it was Christmas of me being 50, and I was close to turning 51. So 10 years ago. Okay. So I just want you to understand, like, you can spend your entire life doing things one way, and in a very non-mountainous move, you can start to shift things for the better. Okay. So we're going to talk about that today. I actually titled this Stop Copying Meals, Start Eating with a Process. So I'm going to tell you that today. I'm going to teach that to you today. So here we go. All right. Who's talking to me? Good morning, Lisa. She says, I'm a sugar addict. It's so hard to stop the cravings. I know. But once you do, this is so interesting. And I don't think I have an assessment on it right now. Why I now, 10 years later, have a bite of sugar? Like, let's say it's Christmas time. What was it that I had this Christmas? It's Christmas Eve. Oh, I know what it was. My niece brought nothing bundt cake, everything bundt cake, whatever, it doesn't matter. Nothing bundt cake. Anyway, it's a company, it's amazing, yada yada. And she had like this peppermint chocolate, and the frosting was cream cheese, peppermint, obviously straight sugar. Oh, and then she brought some goodies, and there was one little bar, and I mean it was about this big. And it was like a 7-layer bar, whatever. She brought a bunch of stuff that she was given at work. And so I was like, I think it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Something that was super caramely and amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's like one of my favorites. So I took a bite. I gave the other bite to my sister. I can do that, and it does not throw me into a tailspin. Why is that? I mean, I think I have an answer in my head, but I just want you to understand that it's not the same anymore for me. That sugar addict, of days gone by where literally, you guys, in my 30s, I was so addicted to sugar and drinking sugar. Like I was addicted to coffee creamer, International Delight, Coffee Mate, whatever, that in my 30s, I had a friend who, this is kind of an interesting story. So my husband is in radio, if you didn't know this. He's been in Christian radio for 42 years. And she heard him on the radio and she realized that we lived close to each other. So we ended up hooking up, becoming really, really good friends. And she would come over to my house all the time. We were homeschooling our kids and she started drinking coffee like I was drinking coffee, hazelnut creamer in my coffee all the time. And she gained 10 pounds in 3 months being my friend. That was the price of friendship, people. See, you're not paying that price, are you? You don't have to pay the price of gaining weight because you're my friend. That's hysterical. But anyway, I was such a sugar addict. Oh my gosh. I wish that I could spend an hour just telling you all of the things that I used to eat. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to go into giving you actually some resources because I want you to be able to actually walk away with some sort of a structure, a plan, a thought process, etc. So let's get going. Who am I saying good morning to? Good morning, Terry, Patty, coffee, 1 cup only. There you go. Sue, hello. Hi, Kathy. She says, glad I was a little late because I was too. I know. Some days things just get like off, like you're whatever, you're chunking things out and then all of a sudden a domino falls, that's how that goes. Megda, good morning. Patty says, good morning, Terry. Barb, hi from Ontario. Good to see you, Barb. Good morning. Halfway to, Peggy, you're making me jelly. You're making me jelly. She says, halfway to Myrtle Beach for the winter. Not going home till I lose some weight. I think that's a really good goal. I'm thinking Myrtle Beach and losing weight, they go together. You're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to be able to walk. You're going to be able to have fun, be active. That's amazing. Joan, good to see you. Sherry, good morning. Okay, you guys are all here. Hey there, Judge Judy. Good to see you. Good morning, Carol. Oh, Carol, I've seen your name in a while. Good to see you, Carol. Welcome in this morning, you guys. Okay, so let me give you some like real thought process here, okay? I set this up just a tiny bit differently than I do like during my challenges and stuff like that. So here we go. Because I just figured this would be very, very helpful for you guys. So the food process that I kind of go through, I remember, you guys, I tell you, like one of my favorite cookbooks is The Ketogenic Cleanse by Maria Emmerich. It's on my Amazon fave list. I'll show you this in a little while. I love that book, but she has a lot of meal plans at that beginning. I'm not a meal plan person. So you have to identify what kind of a person are you? How do you want to shift the way that you're doing? Like what's your natural bend? What's your natural bend towards how you eat food, right? Okay. Because I'm not a meal plan person. So that's why I said, maybe stop chasing meals, but let's get you a process and then you can plug it into the way that you learn best. Everybody has their own learning style. And so you have to identify your own and stop feeling bad that yours isn't like somebody else's. If somebody says, oh, I'm like amazing at following meal plans and blah, blah, and you're like, I do not. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just the way you learn, right? No big deal. So the first thing, before I eat anything, I run it kind of through like 3 filters. Okay. Now I don't do this like every time I open my mouth, but this is just what I feel like my brain has started to identify how I've done this. Okay. So I'm trying my best to bring to you kind of what I did so that you can just copy it. Okay. And some of you have already done this. Terry, she is on it. Terry started to trade out her foods even before the total body reset. And, she started to really pay attention to different pieces that I'll probably go over that'll match with her, I guess. And she ended up losing 50 pounds and she was 62 years old at the time, you guys. And then she's kept it off for over a year. So you have to understand that these are keys. You have to see these as keys to your future weight loss maintenance. Okay. Yes, they help you lose weight, but it's also there's a maintenance aspect to this that I know you want so desperately. Okay. And then I'll explain how you can have an acceleration with like proper, when done properly, supplementation. But protein first. This is non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable. And this is why I love the fact that they did the food pyramid, because we, as people who have been talking about protein, it's not a fad. This is not meant to be another fad where, it's here one day and gone the next. This is meant to be like proper understanding. Some people are like, oh, I'm so tired of people talking about protein. Like, this is ridiculous. It's like, no, the older you get, I mean, we even sat under the, tutelage. Oh, that's an old word. The tutelage. Well, we sat under like a longevity expert who talked about you have to have proper amounts of protein in your like daily to support your lean muscle mass. So this protein thing is not a hype. This is not a trend. This is not a fad. Now, should you be getting it from protein bars? No. You will never hear me tell you that. I will never tell you to go buy cheap protein or only, like it really ticked me off that I saw, I think it was Dr. Mark Hyman. I think it was. And he posted how now Dunkin' Donuts has a milk protein. I mean, they jumped on the bandwagon. They jumped on that marketing bandwagon right away. They're not going to miss a beat, are they? Everybody's going to talk to you about protein now. You have been sitting with my content, or you have been in my challenges, or you have actually learned proper thought process. So don't let them like dupe you into thinking that you're going to add a milk protein to your sugar drink. I mean, come on. But that's what they're going to do. And they're going to make people think that they're making a good decision, and they're not. Okay, I digress. Protein first, non-negotiable. 1 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of goal body weight. Now, is everybody going to be perfect at that? No. This is just like from this longevity expert that we sat under. He was talking about this, and he said, you work your way up, but then don't be confused. It's not as hard as you think it is. A chicken breast can be like 48 grams of protein. Beef is huge. Like you can have something that's like 78 grams of protein. You just didn't even know it. So forget all of those myths about protein. Your body can only process so much, blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of noise. Nobody was killing a bison and eating a bison and wondering if their body was going to process it. Like, we have to stop with the noise. We have to just go back to eating real food, satiating our bodies, nourishing our bodies. This is what like RFK is even trying to say. Like, we're going to teach people how to get away from processed foods. So all of that marketing hype and crap that they want to sell you, buy this prepackaged meal and buy this prepackaged bar and buy this prepackaged bag and buy just la. That's what we have to do, because we are smart enough to go to the store and buy real food. So that's really probably what I should have named this today: how to eat real food. Very little do I eat that's prepackaged, but I love my life. It's not a burden. It's like the way that I love to eat food now, like real food. So protein is not optional for women 40 plus. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar. It reduces your cravings. It protects your muscles, and it signals fat loss. It literally does all of that. Okay. So if you miss protein early in the day, you chase hunger all day long. So think about what they've done to us. Think about what they have done to us. They have told us to eat grain cereal and drink skim milk without the fat. And what did we do? We craved and we hungered, and then we binged. Like, they gave us the worst advice ever based on, in my opinion, based on their own agricultural needs to sell plentiful crops. So we're gonna turn that up on its head. We have the backing now of the food pyramid. So we're gonna be bolder than ever, people. So number 2, protein that does not spike your blood sugar. So it's not just protein. It's not just any protein, okay? Protein that doesn't spike your blood sugar. This is where, in my opinion, most plans fail. Okay, now remember, you and I, we're different. We're different, okay? We're together, but we're different. What do I mean by that? Your friend who is not insulin resistant, your sister who does not have a high fasting insulin, and you may not even know that you do, but you know it by the signs of your body and all of the belly fat, but maybe you haven't had the test. It's okay. Blah, that's just semantics. But you, if you are like me, my insulin resistance was off the charts. So much so that it showed up in a frozen shoulder. So much so that my belly fat was like just beyond, right? Like I could not stop that freight train of weight gain. And it was mostly all in my trunk. Okay. We enter this insulin resistance land and we should go like this. We should look around and go, uh-oh, I'm in the wrong land, and try to back out. And we're trying to back out. This is exactly what Terry did. Terry was like, oh, I'm going to back out of this insulin resistance land. She did, and kept her 50 pounds off for over a year now. Do you understand how this works? Do you understand what your future can look like? You have to put yourself into Terry's shoes and say, oh, so my goal is to back out of insulin resistance land and then like, see you later, sayonara. I'm never returning your way again. I have the keys, bye-bye. That's how your future can be. I promise you. But it does take a different thought process than what the world has been dishing out for you. It does. You have to go against that grain. Okay. So I avoid grains, legumes, and healthy carb-based proteins. Okay. So I don't do grains, sugars, or legumes. Now, does that mean that if I were to today go and have a white bean chili soup at a friend's house, that it would like ruin my body? No, I'm really stable, right? Like I've done this now for a long time, but I just stay in that mode because again, I understand. Okay. So, all right, I'm just going to move on. I don't want to stop too much at a different little section. So I rely mostly on beef, chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt. Like I love Faye. That's a really good brand. Or lately you guys know, I've been doing a lot of yogurts that are like convenience based, just because of my schedule being, whatever. You go into these moments, right? So convenience based, portion controlled, Oikos 000 or, Too Good, that kind of stuff. Shrimp, chicken sausage that has clean ingredients and yada, yada, yada. Okay. There we go. Now, number 3. So number 1 is protein, non-negotiable. Number 2 is proteins that don't spike your sugars. Okay. That's a big one. Number 3, carbs stay under 30 total grams, not net, a day. This is why it is BS that they tell you can have 40 to 50 grams of carbs per meal as a type 2 diabetic. No, you can't. Not if you want to get off of meds. Not if you want to like reverse what's going on in your body. And now I'm not a doctor, so it's not according to, Kirsten. It's according to Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Eric Berg and Dr. Philip Avadia and Maria Emmerich. It's reversible. This was never meant to be a terminal diagnosis, period. Ever. It was never meant to be meds for life. But they got you thinking that way, don't they? So fruit for me, berries only. I said this yesterday. I usually do frozen organic. I live in Minnesota. Our growing season is like 2 weeks, maybe 3. It's so short. It's ridiculous. When it is berry season, hallelujah, praise the Lord. It's amazing to get fresh strawberries, locally grown berries. Like we have strawberry patches. We have like people go in droves and we go do our own strawberry picking because it's very exciting. However, I do frozen organic, non-starchy vegetables only. So people are like, well, what vegetables do you eat? Non-starchy vegetables. So what I like, you're not going to like. What you like, I might not like. So I always think in terms of like, I said spaghetti squash yesterday. I forgot to mention like cauliflower rice. Like I was thinking, okay, so I did this do I go down this little rabbit trail? I saw somebody on TikTok do a reel that was doing soy sauce eggs. Have you guys seen this? Okay. It's basically your hard boiling eggs, or kind of mine were a little more soft boiled, and I like that. And you're putting them, you're peeling them and putting them in a jar, and then you're putting half soy sauce, but I never, ever, ever use real soy sauce. That's trash. You can't do that. Just filled with total crap, usually gluten and MSG. So I use Bragg's amino liquids. Bragg's amino liquids. That's one to write down. You would never know the difference. It's totally soy sauce. It is a soy-based. It's just not the same. It's not with all the trash. It's gluten-free. So half with soy sauce, the other half with water, like mix it up a little bit with the jar on or with the lid on, put it in your fridge for 5 hours. Okay. So now you have a soy sauce egg. It's nice and salty. It tastes that soy sauce. It's good. But I was thinking, oh man, I should have gone to the store and gotten cauliflower rice, because then I could have made some cauliflower rice with maybe some green onion and whatever. And because I'm trying to create like an Asian flavor for myself, because I like that Asian flavor, but I don't do Asian food a lot, because if you go out to eat Asian, it's very hard because everything has sugar. I mean, we have just ruined Asian food in the United States. But anyway, and I don't do rice, right? So, and when I go to make something, which I love, I really do, like a Maria Emmerich recipe, and she has really good ones. It just has so many ingredients, and I'm super lame like that. I'm like, it's not that I wouldn't do it. It's just not something that maybe would be in my repertoire all the time. But that's because I just know myself. Listen, it's just my husband and I. I'm not raising kids anymore, right? It's just the two of us. So it doesn't mean that I wouldn't do it. It's just like, I would have to learn the language of that recipe, so to speak, so that I could just do it. Like I've done with the egg white bread, like I've done with the sugar-free chocolate pudding in the blender. I've learned those. I could do the same thing. Obviously, I don't want to bad enough, I guess is maybe. So non-starchy vegetables only, so your mushrooms and your onions and your broccoli and your cauliflower and your spaghetti squash and, your green peppers and all of the things that you know about all of them. And you can do, arugula and kale and romaine, all the things, right? Okay. So no keto math gymnastics. Like, stop the insanity. We need to be the most normal people on the face of the planet. If you feel like you have to follow a program all the time for the rest of your life, instead of just understanding a process for the person who's insulin resistant, I don't know. I don't know if you'll do it forever. I don't know. Maybe you will. Maybe that's your personality and you will. But I think most of us, we just want to understand the concepts and live within the concepts, because then we feel good and then we have clarity. It's like it lifts this fog of confusion. Because we literally go la, la, la to the marketing. That's what we do. So this is how you can keep insulin calm, which is what allows fat loss to finally happen. Okay. So real examples of things that I actually eat. Let's do that for a second. And who am I saying good morning to? Because there's so many people on here. You guys are awesome. Lee, good to see you. Sunny Louisiana. Oh man, how wonderful is that? Shannon, happy Wednesday. Pez, I agree. Maria has too many ingredients and special ingredients at that. And specialty ingredients. Yep. I like simple, been cooking for over 51 years. Yeah. I'm a very simple person. Now, some of you might want to go out and be like for instance, I have purchased her fish sauce. But then I don't use them. But then I know that I would like them if I did, because I do like a Worcestershire, and I know Worcestershire is trash. So therefore you can use like a fish sauce, and you can use a Bragg's, and you can use these things. I don't know. I must just like what I'm eating, I guess is what I'm saying. Simple Jody is in the house. Yes, Jody. Good to see you. I know. It matches me. Okay. But you do you. And if you pick up her cookbook, the 30-day ketogenic cleanse, which I like, for instance, now she has a breakfast chili in there. I will go buy those ingredients. See, so I'm picking and choosing just like everybody else. That is a really, really good recipe. The breakfast chili, I do like that one. Lasagna. If I do a lasagna, Okay. See, I pick and choose just like everybody else. I'll make sure I've got the ricotta and all of the mozzarella and all of the different things. But okay. So my website, just so that I can show you where the cookbook is, my website is kirstenliebelt.com. I'll put that up on the Facebook and YouTube page right there. So Kirsten Liebelt, one word, no spaces, Kirsten. And you can always go to my profile and see how to spell my name. I'm the same name everywhere. I don't have I didn't put down I'm not called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. That's my group. So everywhere on my profiles, I'm Kirsten Liebelt, even on YouTube, okay, to make it super easy for everybody. So you go there and you'll see my face right there. And right down here, there is my Amazon cart, okay? This is the book I'm talking about, just so that people know. It's called The 30-Day Ketogenic Cleanse, okay? And that is a Maria Emmert cookbook. So again, has all the meal plans in it. Personally, I don't care. If you want to have something that's a little more, how do I say this? Like you're transitioning your foods and you need more treat type thought processes. And I don't mean treat like in sugar, although that would be a part of it. But I figure, who doesn't want to eat like a kid? Like if you're transitioning, like I was totally eating like a kid at 50. You know what I mean? Like you want that mac and cheese, you want that, whatever it is. She's in her sugar-free kids. That's where you're going to find the almond flour. You're going to find, she's going to teach you how to make like little almond flour pastries, like toaster pastries, or she's going to teach you how to use almond flour and make your own little individual cereal bites, like berry bites. She's going to teach you things like that. That's the sugar-free kids. So the ketogenic cleanse today is, how much is it? Hold on. It went to a different page. That was weird. So the ketogenic cleanse today is it $14? Today it's $16.63. And the sugar-free kids is, just so that you know, it's $20.30. I have both of them. I've used both of them. My daughter bought the sugar-free kids for her to do stuff with her kids. And then right under there, just to let you know, I did put the vibration plate that I've been using. Okay. So that's the one that I've been using. You guys asked about that yesterday. How much is that today? Today it is $99.99. So it's only like 9% down. It can get to be a better price, but you got to keep your eye on stuff like that. And then I have some other things. Okay. But that's a good way to kind of like gauge just a few of those things. Now let's get into like, what do I personally eat? Here we go. So again, I'm boring. So just take it for what it is. But, and I've said these things before, like, I got up this morning, I had a couple of eggs, and today I did the Amy Lou andouille sausage. It's a chicken sausage. The reason why I pick a chicken sausage, and you'll see this when I get to like a little macro calculator that you can go find. Doing high fat all the time. Oh, I'm going to have bacon and I'm going to eat pork sausages and I'm going to, just kind of pig out on everything high fat. It'll stall your fat loss. You'll be like, this doesn't work. Well, you're probably eating too many calories. You're probably eating too much fat. And Maria Emmert, this is why I appreciate her, because she has really found how to do keto for humans. It's for humans, not for epilepsy, but for human weight loss. Because, oh, interesting. I'm going to have to actually plug in my iPad. So you guys are going to lose. You're going to lose my microphone. Sorry about that, but I'm going to plug you in. So that's why there's all of this confusion. And I pushed back internally about talking about anything keto forever. I didn't want to have anything to do with it because the noise online is obnoxious. People are giving you all sorts of crap advice. And then people start and they go, they start something and they go, well, this doesn't work. I might as well just eat like I was. And hate that so much because maybe they're not teaching concepts or whatever. And I just feel like Maria Emmerich does a really good job. So hold on, I'm going to take out my microphone. So sorry about that, guys. There we go. But at least you'll stay on now. You won't die. That's most important. So the brands that I really like are Amy Lou. I get those at Costco. Adele's, Aidells, Walmart. Gilbert's, Walmart. Now, not all of them, because some of them are like maple, bourbon, apple, and then you have to look to see the sugar that's in there. So within those brands, I still find things like, let's see. I just did one. It's a garlic and smoked Gruyere cheese. That was in the Adele's. Italian sausage. There are things like that. There's tomato basil ones like in the Never Any brand that you can get at Aldi's, etc. You just look around. I haven't done them for myself for a while. But I did do them for a baby shower, and it reminded me, I got to get back on this again. Having an egg bake. Sometimes I'll just do that in my brain. I'm doing that like with my egg white bread. I'll make little muffin cups or something like that to have bite-sized something. Having an egg bake or pan of something like that in your fridge, very helpful when you want to be able to just take out a piece of something and then move on. Okay, so that's very helpful. Greek yogurt, just talked about that already. I like doing spaghetti squash with, that lunch, dinner, thought process. I don't really eat 3 meals a day necessarily. Maybe more like 2 meals and a snack or something, I guess. But spaghetti squash, I like making a cream sauce, and I can make that a couple of different ways. I can make it a real cream sauce with you could take like a chicken broth and use a little bit of cream cheese, a little bit of cream, and some Parmesan and make an actual cream sauce. Or recently in my content, we've been doing where I'm using the juices of a roast and then using that new method that we learned where you take 2 eggs and some lemon juice and you whisk them up. And then you temper the eggs with the hot boiling broth and then you put it back in there and it creams up your sauce without using any dairy. It was amazing. That was a Maria Emmerich trick. Well, it's probably a chef trick, but I saw her use it. Using that with spaghetti squash as a base, having protein in there. So shrimp or beef or chicken, something like that, and using spaghetti squash. Cauliflower rice, you could, if you fried cauliflower rice and got out all of that, because you want to get the wetness off of it, right? You could fry that up with mushrooms and onions. Add a protein in there. You can do your own stir fry by using cauliflower rice. You just have to learn that language of, thawing it, patting out the moisture, frying it up maybe with just a little bit of, avocado oil or something like that, getting that, dried more, right? Lasagna, we talked about that recently where I did that for Christmas Eve using sliced deli chicken breast to build a lasagna. Simple protein and veggie bowls. I'm a very simple person when it comes to if I'm going to have put a couple of chicken thighs in my air fryer, and then have that with something like maybe broccoli or asparagus or whatever, I'm so simple. But I feel like that is a success thing also, keeping things simple and monotonous. And then every now and then, I'll tell you, I'm going to go to, I'm so excited. So remember, I've talked about how when I go out somewhere, I'll make sure that I have a Lily's bar with me or something. If I know I'm going out to a restaurant that's going to have really good desserts, etc. So we're going to go in Minnesota, there's a place called the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. And they have really good food and really good, amazing desserts, really fancy schmancy desserts. And I won't be eating a dessert that they offer. So I'll probably have a little bit of a Lily's bar in my purse because I can just take a square of something and I'll be fine. And I love that I know how to do that for me, right? That's exciting. That makes me in control. Now I am in control, right? So Some of the recipes that I do rotate a lot are the egg white bread. I use that a lot. I make that. I'll probably make some again today. I like playing around with that when I have time. I do all sorts of weird things with the egg white bread because I can turn it into banana bread. I can turn it into orange bread. I can turn it into little muffin cups of goodness with the brown sugar swerve and the cinnamon. I can do so many things with it. I can make it plain. I can make it garlicky. I can do whatever. And depending upon what my my craving is, so to speak, or whatever, I can do an almond extract. I can do anything. I can do so many things, right? That sugar-free chocolate pudding in the blender, that's a Maria Emmerich recipe. That's where, in fact, you can find how long have I been muted, you guys? On Facebook. I think it was muted. Shoot. Has it been muted, you guys? That is so silly. I just saw a notification on there. So I just unmuted me. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay, so talking about recipes and so forth, here's where you can get a bunch of free recipes. So, or just the ones that I use, a couple of the ones that I use. On my site, kirstenliebelt.com. Not long, a few seconds. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. I mean, if I bump something, right? Like it's crazy. Okay, good, Patty. So kirstenliebelt.com, and here we go. And then right underneath my before and after picture right there, I have free resources right there. Okay. So one of them is the keto lasagna recipe is there. The egg white protein bread is there. And that sugar-free chocolate pudding is there. And I love that sugar-free chocolate pudding. It's, you're using egg whites as a base. So no, it does not taste eggy. You're using a blender. You're using a can of coconut milk. So it has high fat in it because it's the coconut milk, but it's very satiating. And you're not eating a bunch of trash like from, like if you go and you look on the back of the box of Jell-O pudding, it's not good, especially the sugar-free stuff. It's really bad, like chemicals and all sorts of crap. This is so easy to make. I mean, honestly, I want to make that probably today. Like it just tastes so good. And you're using real cocoa, real vanilla, egg whites that are already cooked, coconut milk. You can use a little bit of cinnamon, and you just mix that up. And you've got this amazing chocolate pudding, like crazy. But then, so there's a few things right there that I kind of do. Okay, just muted when I picked up my phone. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So why this works for women. So the reason why this thought process, and make sure if you have questions, ask me questions. Okay. The reason why this works is because high protein helps your insulin to stay lower. And what do we know about when you have high insulin? You can't burn fat. Okay. Burn fat if you have high insulin. But if you have lower insulin, fat can be released. Okay. Moderate fats support hormone stalling loss. Now, notice that I said moderate fat, not high fat, moderate fat, good fats. Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, lard, ghee, etc. Not seed oils. Okay, those are inflammatory. You're going to need to spend more time on your vibration plate, trying to get that to move through your body. Low carbs remove the blood sugar roller coaster. So again, this is not about restriction. This is not about just denying yourself all of the good things. This is about understanding, oh, if I can stop that blood sugar roller coaster, number one, I'll be able to finally lose fat. Number two, I will feel better. I won't feel so full of brain fog, so exhausted, my sleep being so messed up, la, la, la. You'll feel better. That's why, right? So it's not restriction, it's metabolic permission. Okay. Now, calculating your own numbers, just to let you know, I think I send people to Maria Emmerich's website. I'm just going to, I can't show it to you, so I'll just tell it to you. So if you have a pen and paper, her website is Maria Mind Body Health. I'm going to double check that I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Maria Mind Body Health, no spaces. mariamindbodyhealth.com, no spaces. Okay, got that? Up in the search bar, put in free macro calculator. Free macro calculator. And it will take you, there's a video there that explains it. You can put in your information. You can do all of the things, okay? It's going to teach you how, it's going to show you for your weight, your height, you measure some things. It's going to talk to you about your calories. But it's going to teach you high protein, moderate healthy fats. Your carbs are going to be under 30 grams, might even be 20, just depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to tweak better, put in the fact that even if you're not totally sedentary, put in sedentary to get a little more tightness on your numbers, right? But personalized targets instead of just guessing. So there are some people who really do need to have macros. I should have probably learned how to get my brain to work in terms of macros a long time ago. But I just resisted. I resisted that, what I perceived as restriction or accountability. And so, because it is accountability, right, to yourself and to the understanding of a macro calculator. And so I resisted that. I'm just telling you. But that's what you do. mariamindbodyhealth.com. And, protein first, proteins that don't spike your sugar, and carbs that are low enough to let your insulin fall. You need your insulin to fall down. Okay. That's the process of that. So hold on just a second. Here we go. All right. Now, I teach both things. I teach the food ingredient tradeouts, and I do teach targeted supplementation, but because I needed that. I needed that for me. I needed my body to shift because I wasn't shifting it fast enough for my own stickability. Let me just put it that way, right? So when food approach is paired with something like the total body reset, results accelerate because you're supporting the organs that process the proteins, fats, and the carbs. So you want your system to actually work for you, okay? I'm just telling you, that's how that is. You can absolutely do this with food alone. You really, really can. And I know that's where Terry started. She said, I started trading out my foods, and then she came across my content and went, oh, what's this total body reset? And then she implemented that, and she's never looked back. I don't know how many, she's done 19 challenges. So 19 months she's been doing this, okay? But she's kept her weight off for over a year. She feels good. She tucks in her blouse. She's 63 now, and that's 50 pounds ago, right? But that's because she understood that she could go from just kind of basic understanding to taking action that was a little bit more helpful. So you can absolutely do this with food alone, but when you want to accelerate the results, especially after 40, okay, this is where the total body reset removes the friction that slows everything down. Because it's kind of like feeling this, how it would feel like it felt like you're plugging a hole here and here and here and here, and then you're hearing all of this noise from outside. Oh, you should do a liver detox. Oh, you should do a coffee enema. Oh, you should try, drink this tea and take this supplement and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and all of these different things. And so, and I know that this is what's going on, because this is what I'm getting when I ask people what they've been trying or doing. Oh, well, I did see that a cinnamon was good for me, so I've been buying a cinnamon pill over here. And then I heard that if I drink this concoction over here, that it would help. And then I did that, and then I did this, and so this is why I believe so many people feel very overwhelmed, and you feel like, I can't put my finger on actually anything that's helping me. I can't quite figure it out, right? So that's why that can, be super frustrating. So if you're eating this way and you're still feeling stuck, like Terry obviously took that other step, that's usually a sign that your body needs support, not more restriction, but it does need the support to change the way your body is delivering you a result. Okay. So that is kind of how that is working. So the total body reset, those are the 6 pieces that I always talk about. And if you can get just a little bit of clarity, I feel like it can take you a very long way. Now, I'm literally watching people, as you guys are placing your orders for your refills in this month of January, almost everybody that's ordering, because you were already on the bandwagon in December, you're all getting $50 off your orders now in January because of the New Year's bonus. And they're offering that again now for February. But I tell you that because some people, when I said in November, hey, be a new customer in November, you're not going to want to miss this, because if you do November, December, and then January, in January, you're going to get your $50 off and your extra $75. You're going to get $125 off. Those who listen to me are now cashing out $125 on their order in January. So I give you this information because this is what I would want somebody to do for me. I would want somebody to tell me how to get money back on my own consistency. I want to be rewarded for being consistent. Okay. So the total body reset are 3, 6. Listen to me, make up my numbers. There's 6 pieces. Okay, 6 pieces. So I started with the trio. These are the 3 supplements, and then the other 3 are powders. So it's very simplistic. This one helps with your sugars and your insulin 3 times a day. This is I can see it. It shows in my Instagram, but not here. So this is a capsule 3 times a day. If you need to really double down on bringing down your sugars and your insulin, and you are a good assessor of your sugars, I have a friend. I just want to always say it that way because it's not recommended, but I have a friend who doubled up on this, and she took 2 of these 3 times a day. And it significantly changed how she was losing weight and getting her sugars and insulin down. And remember, your blood glucose and your insulin are 2 completely different things. And you need both of them to come down in order for your life to get better. Okay. So here we go. So 3 times a day. This one is for your liver, because if you have a sluggish liver, you cannot burn fat twice a day. This is for your metabolism twice a day. Okay. And then the other 3 are powders. The first one is okay. I think I'm okay again. I don't know why my microphone is doing that to me today. It's very weird. So the gut primer, this is your 6 different blends getting off of antacid medications and constipation meds and people's anxiety disappearing because you're supporting your gut and all of the inflammation in your gut. You're helping your body to actually get your liver to function for those of you that don't have a gallbladder, etc. So 6 different blends. There's a lot. It's all organic, off of organic farms. It's a little scoop like this. You just put it, I put it in just a little bit of cold water out of my fridge, and then I drink it like a wellness shot because it's very green tea. Okay. So this is a daily thing. It's a gastrointestinal comprehensive primer for your gut. So when you know you have leaky gut and you're not absorbing your nutrients very well, and you see the signs on your body, your hair and your nails, and you see signs, you see flags that your body is not right, or you're tired of having diarrhea or constipation or whatever, that's this. Okay, that's this. The next powder is the probiotic, this 5 live strains. Put it right on your tongue, very benign in flavor. And then the last powder is the orange pixie stick, which targets your visceral fat. Tastes like an orange pixie stick, just like when you're a kid, straight on your tongue. Do this one 90 days on and 30 days off. So when you're looking and thinking about the total body reset, think in terms of, okay, I'm going to do this for 90 days and then I'm going to reassess. And when most of you see the results that you're getting, you end up like in your brain, because you're not committed to anything, in your brain, you usually go for another 90 days. Because every 90 days, every 3 months, when you do 150 or more, you get $75 off that 3rd month. If you start in January, in February, you're going to get an extra $50 off just because it's a New Year bonus. So most of you, when I track out what people are doing so that I can help people, it's literally you're going 90 days, you're getting that $75 off, and then you're starting again and you're doing it again because you understand now that your body is responding, and paired with learning those food trade outs, those ingredient trade outs, you're like, this is something that is very doable. Like I can sustain this. Like Patty said, she said it many times. This is the first time in my life that I've ever been able to stick to a program. And then over Christmas, she said, this is the first time that I've gone through Christmas and not gained 1 pound, because you're not like denying and restricting, you're understanding what's happening to your body. And you stop beating yourself up for character flaws when it's not about that. It's about your biology. It's about your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Half of this is liver. Liver, liver, liver. Okay? And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what's happening with my microphone. That's so funny. This is where you're like, oh, my body's responding. So anybody that needs help with the total body reset, like reach out to me, put total body reset in the comments. I'll get you information. On Instagram, it doesn't stay there after the live. So you have to get into my DMs or go to my site, go to KirstenLiebelt.com. I have a 9-minute video for somebody who's like, lady, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to see a better explanation than what you gave me because my brain needs that. Perfect. You have no idea how many people would rather just go on and order. That's me, and I get it. So that's why I tell you that. So KirstenLiebelt.com, the total body reset is right here, second button. When you click on that, you're going to see there's the button for you to look at everything in one place. But look at this. I put together a 9-minute video, literally going through this slowly to give you understanding of your biology and why it's working inside of your body. So that you can be like, okay, fine. I'll go 90 days. Let's see now. It's halfway through January. So halfway through February, halfway through March, halfway through April. Takes me to tax day. And by tax day, I'll know if I'm going to go another 90 days. Now you're that much further ahead for spring and summer, etc., for the transition of seasons. Joan, wow, today's education lesson is very helpful. Thank you, Coach. You appreciate it. Joan, thank you so much. You're amazing. Can I repeat the name of the soy sauce substitute? Yes. Bragg's. B-R-A-G-G-S. Thank you for asking that, Magda. Bragg's. B-R-A-G-G-S. Okay. The guy's name was Bragg. Philip Bragg or something like that, who developed this for like Whole Food type stores decades ago. Bragg's also does like apple cider vinegar and other things. Oftentimes it is in a healthy food aisle as opposed to the Asian aisle. Just letting you know that. So I hope that helps. Bragg's. Anybody else? Are we doing good? I think we're doing good. Oh, I did miss stuff. Hold on. Judy was new. That was so good. I should have seen that. I'm so glad Judy was on. Susan, good morning, Susan. If you're still on, good morning. You're simple too, yeah. Listen, if we complicate things, if we make things so dang hard, Julie, I don't know if you're still on, but I love how you're hungry because we're talking about food. You're hysterical. Is autoimmune problems related to glucose? Roundabout, but it's not, I don't know if it's that clear. But hold on, I'm just gonna, such a good question, Julie. I think the question isn't, is it connected? I think the question is, how is it connected? I think that's going to be the question. So let's see what we got here. So the answer is going to be yes. But I want it to be very simplistic. Because this is a really big deal for a lot of people. And when you don't feel good, you don't You don't keep going. You don't move. You don't do the things that you need to do because you're tired. You're tired of fighting it, right? So high glucose spikes high glucose spikes can acutely raise oxidative stress and inflammatory signals. So acute hyperglycemia increases oxidative stress and can raise inflammatory cytokines. Okay, so having repeated post-meal spikes are linked to vascular inflammation, endothelial dysfunction mechanisms. So oxidative stress. Yes, insulin resistance is strongly tied to chronic low-grade inflammation. We do know this. We talk about that all the time. High insulin in your body is high inflammation in your body. So there is a relationship. So autoimmune inflammatory disease biology, yes, totally connected. Autoimmune disease does not start in the immune system, it starts in metabolism. That's too absolute. So that's not completely like perfect in its thought process, but there is a connection. So I hope that helps. Jan, you are welcome. Shannon says, Kirsten, is there a scale we might look at to buy that measures fat, water, and muscle? So are you talking about a scale that you step on? I think that's what you're talking about. I can actually put that as in my Amazon thing as well. Fat, water, and muscle. Because the one that I got, let me just see if that is fat, water, and muscle. So the one that I purchased, again, I can put it in my thing. It's only like $26, but let me just see what it is measuring. And you can purchase certain things with your FSA and HSA, just to let you know, like this one says FSA, HSA eligible. Let me see what it measures. Body water, body fat, protein level, BMI, visceral fat, bone mass, muscle mass, metabolic age, basal metabolic rate, lean body mass, and weight. Okay, so I feel like that covers what you're looking for, and I can actually put that on my Amazon list for you, for anybody that cares. I wanted one that was comprehensive, but I also wanted one that was not super expensive, because you can go crazy and you start to get all of these things and you're like, geez, this gets to be a lot. And I didn't want it to be like so much if anybody wanted to know about things like that. So here we go. I can put that on my Amazon list. Oh, there's one at Sierra Outlet, Jody says. Very cool. You found it and you love it. That's awesome. See? Okay, yep, a scale to step on. I got it. I got it. I'm on it. I am on it. I'll put that together for you. And then when you just go to my site, super easy. It'll be there for you. It'll be there. Any other questions, you guys? These are good questions. Well, you guys really kind of sparked my thought process yesterday when you were asking me so much about food, and I thought I've got to go over this because I don't want to get away from the whole picture for everybody. Again, I go back to Terry, who started with food, but then she grabbed onto the total body reset. I don't know if I'm correct, Jody, or not, but maybe Jody started that way too. Somehow Jody came across my content. You need to make the sugar-free pudding for your husband. It's really good. And just think about how blood sugar stabilizing that is, Shannon, because you're using, like, I'll use a pint of egg whites. And then you cook them up. Make sure that they're cooked really well, like they're not moist. Cook them up really well and use them in the blender with all of those ingredients. It tastes good. It's satiating. It's filling. It's really good. Just telling you. So let's see here. I'll have this up here in 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a little lamb's tail. Did anybody else's mom say that to them? My mom said that all the time. My mom said things like quick like a bunny, 2 shakes of a little lamb's tail. Heard all of that. Did you guys hear that too as a kid? Okay, so it's on there. I'm just going to move it up to its spot and then we'll be ready. He has a bad sweet tooth. I understand that. And you know what? I feel like the myth is that we can't fix that, or that it's going to be the hardest thing that you've ever done. And I just disagree with that. That's not true. When you actually stop eating, how do I say this? When you start eating, okay, stop for sure. But like if you get up in the morning and you do what I'm talking about, where you're eating like a couple of eggs and some chicken sausage and you whatever, your body will naturally begin to feel very satiated and the cravings will begin to diminish. Now, the best product to help with that out of the total body reset is the glucose product, FYI. If he would take that 3 times a day and maybe even double up on it, if he felt like he needed to double up on it, basically what would happen is the food noise would really begin to diminish quite a bit. And that is to me, that's like such an amazing product all by itself. Sometimes men are not as wanting to have a whole system. Now, that's not always the case. I have a husband and a wife that are doing the total body reset together right now. And he just texted me and told me that he's already down a few pounds. So men do it for sure. But I have a lot of guy clients that are more like, they just want to have the glucose health and they want to just stick it in their, like, you know, their glove compartment or something like that. It's just what it is. And that's totally fine. But that one alone would help with those sugar cravings because you do want to get those down. Like, it makes you feel like you're out of control when you have sugar cravings like that. And it just makes you feel out of control. So we don't want that. All right, I think I've got that on there. I do. Here we go. So basically, if you go to my site and you go to so KirstenLiebelt.com is the site. But then when you go to the Amazon button, you'll see it. And I just feel like we feel like failures if we have sugar cravings like that all the time. Okay, we feel like we're failures. So right here is the Amazon button. There's the cookbook. There's the vibration plate, and then here's the scale right there. So if you touch on the scale or the button, it is $26.59. There you go. Or like Jody said, if you find something in a local store, you can look at that too. So there you go. Okay, so Julie says that her function health test showed positive for autoimmune problems. Sierra, that's what she said, Julie. Sierra Outlet. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you're still on. Yeah, a defeated feeling. I know, and it causes so much inflammation, so much inflammation. You know, if you go and you kind of binge on sugar for a day, your face will show. So, you know, people are like, your skin looks so good. Well, I don't eat sugar. People understand the level of inflammation. If you're waking up and you're super puffy all the time everywhere, but you know that you're eating like a lot of grains and a lot of sugar, that shows up on our face. That's what happens, right? You are so welcome, Shannon, for that scale info. Yeah, because I'm just on my own hunt this year. So these are my goals for 2026. I want strong legs. Okay, so again, going back to sitting under the tutelage of a longevity expert, he said that your longevity is tied to your leg strength. So I got myself like a little squat machine, like a little mini squat machine. It has like a resistance springs that help you with your form so that your form is good. Okay, then I wanted to work with my lymphatic system this year. So that's why I have the vibration plate. I actually ordered some castor oil and some like a thing for your liver, I ordered a castor oil kit. Apparently they broke it in transit, so it's getting returned. I'll get refunded. I'll have to try that all over again. But I want to try certain things. I want to go to another level this year of my health journey. And so those are the things that I'm doing. Everything that's lymphatic and then leg strength. And then I did buy some resistance bands just because I will get tight in my shoulders. And then I had surgery on the shoulder. And so if I can do resistance bands and I can like go down behind me like this and take my, and just stretch, my upper back like that and get my shoulder moving constantly. So these are the things that I'm fixing. I don't know what you're fixing this year or what you're focusing on, but whatever you focus on will actually happen. So these are the things that I'm focusing on, and I want to just be intermittent in my day. I want to be able to pause, do some squats, put my feet on a lymphatic machine or stand on it, or I want to be able to just do things incorporated into my day already and feel better all the time. So this is what we're doing, because the key is that you want to be able to get down on the floor and get up off the floor without using your hands. Now, I can do that already. I just don't want to lose that. I'm not interested in losing that. Now, some people, maybe you can't do that, and that's a goal that you want to do that. Because again, your leg strength is going to be tied to your longevity period. Because the more that you become, let's say, bound to sitting or laying, the harder it is, right? So you have to be active, blah, blah, blah. And your lymphatic system, it doesn't have a pump. You have to do something to get it to flow. And you want flow. Barbara says, oh, I finally got up early enough to see a live. That's hysterical. Are you UK, Barbara? I can't remember. That's hysterical. We are wrapping up, but you can watch the replay. That's so funny. That's awesome. Sherry, hello. Good to see you. Look at all the people jumping on. Are you guys telling me that we need to be an hour later? No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. We're going very late. All right. So if anybody has questions, when done correctly, you guys, you don't have to throw spaghetti at the wall anymore. You really can have a moment in time where you have understanding that if you get your body to function on a different level and you match it up with food ingredient trade-offs, man, I'm telling you, your effort will finally match your results. You'll finally get a match, and it matters, okay? So reach out if you want the total body reset information. You can text me, you can DM me, you can messenger me, you can email me, anything in those lines. The customer campaign, you do 150 or more 3 months in a row as a registered customer. Don't check out as a guest. Some of you do that. And if I catch it, I'll help you fix it as much as possible. You can call customer service and get that fixed. But when you start now in January, you're halfway through January, 90 days will take you to tax day. Okay, it takes you to the middle of April. Where do you want to be by the middle of April? Okay, so 90 days. January, February, $50 off. March, $75 off. That's your first 90 days. Watch how your body responds. And there are not many people that do not continue and just keep on going, because it's turning back their body, their visceral fat, their inches, their pounds, getting off of meds, feeling better, having more movement, better sleep, better energy, anxiety going away, etc. You can shift the way your body is delivering you a result. I believe it with every cell of my being. I'm watching it happen all the time with you guys. You're so welcome, Lori. Australia. How fun. Magda, what does the squat machine look like? I can send you a picture of that if you want to, but it's actually very simple. It's, how do I say this? My husband put it together. I did not. It did not take him long, but it is literally a very not heavy thing that I can just move around. Like I can have it behind my couch and then I can move it, and I can literally you're putting your feet underneath a bar and you're a padded, and then behind your knee, there's a padded bar. The only thing that I could think is if you have really tall legs, somebody might, who knows if it'll fit perfectly, you know, but for me it does. And you lean back and it's going down and then back. It's giving you some resistance. It's spring loaded, so to speak, but not tight. It's just a guide. It's a guide behind your rear end. And I'll show you that picture here. And this is for me now, this is something that I'm very much enjoying because I'm going to be really honest. That is not having leg strength is not something I've worked on, you know, doing a lot of leg day and whatever. So this is what it looks like, Magda. Let me show it to you. See if you can see that. Okay. And then those bars on the floor behind it, I can put this on my list too for you guys. But the bars, you can for somebody who wants to do push-ups, they could put their hands on the bars and they can do push-ups. I don't do push-ups, but that's what it looks like, just to let you know. I mean, I should do push-ups, but that's not something I've mastered. Okay. But now that leg squat, you kind of lean back and you're going down, and it's keeping you in a good form for squats. Okay. And it's protecting your knees. So anybody that has knee issues or whatever, you just know that you need that kind of support. Like I won't keep doing something if it makes my knees hurt. You know what I mean? Like we're all going to stop, and I don't want to stop. So that's why I did that. And I like it. I like the way that it makes me feel supported and whatever. So that's just another thing that I'm incorporating. Magda does squats by holding onto your kitchen counter. Good job, Magda. Good job. That's very, very smart. I like that. And if that's working, that's amazing. If that's something that you like, I love that you're doing that. And again, remember, the more muscle that you have, this is where my thought process is. It's the whole getting down on the floor and getting off and maintaining that. But it's also muscles take up glucose. Muscles are your best defense against insulin resistance. And the biggest muscle group that you have in your body are your quads. They are your legs, your quads. So in my head, I'm like, okay, fine. Then that's what I'm going to do. Then that's what I'm going to work on this year. Okay. Because like you can walk and you can do those things, and that's good too. Yeah, you are welcome, Magda. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I love how you guys are so proactive. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So we will be back. Who gave me a heart? Oh, that was Sherry. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you need something in the meantime, let me know. If you ever need a customized cart, I'll send you a customized cart. If you're like, well, I think I need to tweak a little bit. Maybe I don't need this and this, but what about this and this? And these are my issues. I'll do a cart, put your name on it, get it sent over to you, and I can answer questions. So, all right. Have the best day ever, you guys, on the face of the planet. It's sunny in Minnesota, so it's a good day. It's a good day. All right. See you guys later. Love you so much.